Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hello students, today we are going to start the chapter number 2, the party system of political science, class 12. These are the symbols of all the parties available in India. Now what we are going to do in the chapter, so all about the chapter is meaning and features of political party, role and functions of the political party, party system, and evolution of party system in India, features of party system in India, role of opposition in democracy, and role of opposition in India. Now let's see what a political party is. A political party is a group of people who come together, contest elections and hold power in the government. The members of a political party share common political ideas and support common policies. If I talk about the traditional definition of political party, so Mr. Edmund Burke says that party means a body of men united for promoting by their joint endeavors the national interest upon some particular principle upon which they are agreed. So what exactly this means? That the members, those who are from political party, they share the common political ideas, they support common policies. Actually, the thing is to make the democracy meaningful, a political party is actually required because all the people they cannot come forward to govern the country. So, political party gives us an opportunity to have the people of our own choice so that we can choose our own representative and they can club our mindset and come forward to govern us. That means they are the ultimate decision makers, but with our choice. So our interference is also there. So political parties make the democracies more easier than any other thing. And if we say that there are modern definitions also, like modern writers have defined it in a very different way. And they say that this is more like political machines and organized to win elections and build power. So, like a party is a group whose number purpose is to act to concern in the completing struggle for political power. Now, there are different features of the political parties. Like member of a political party have a common political goals and aspirations. They believe in some common ideas. A political party has a very good organization set up. Political parties contest elections. If a party wins majority, form the government. Political parties should promote national interest. If a party is against national interest, it can be banned. Now let's see how. If we talk about the membership of the political party, so membership means a party may be, small in size or big in size, from a few hundred to several million members. The members of a party can be placed under three categories, like due pay ordinary members, whose number in any party is the largest one, or if we say full-time workers, that means those who are comparatively smaller in number, but their workload is more than them. The notables or the real leaders who comprise the elite the party, that means those who just lead the party, under whose influence people work. Then organization and administration, that they should have a good organizational setup. So any other characteristic of the party is its organization. The parties have their basic units in each village or town. So the basic units are regional or state working committees. So then there is the National Executive Committee, which consists of the most influential leaders of the party. Then they should have the common ideas, the goals and objectives. The parties are held together, by the traditions which have been followed by the forefathers of that political party, and the social connections, and by a strong desire to seize the power. Then they must have a faith in constitutional means also, like they should have national interest too. They should not go against the laws even. So to wage the democratic principles, they should seek to bring the socio-economic changes and through parliamentary method. Now the functions of a political party. Now what exactly the functions are? To contest elections, to put forward policies and programs, form and run government, role of opposition, share public opinion, making laws, access to government machinery and welfare schemes. Now see how, like parties mold public opinions actually to provide political education to the masses, and they just organize, educate, and discipline the masses, and they stimulate interest in public affairs. Right? They put forward their policies and the programs, and they just conduct the elections how like they just make their campaignings, and parties select the best and the most suitable candidates out of large number of persons aspiring for party tickets, and they then conduct the election campaigning to support their candidates by door-to-door canvassing, the distribution of party literature, election funds, and then they are made available by the parties to the candidates. And on the day of election, the parties available by the ensure maximum turnout of the voters. And then the majority party, they form the government as well. How they form the government? In parliamentary democracies, the formation of the cabinet depends upon the party character of the house, the leader of the majority party, or one of the most likely to provide a stable government is invited to form the government. Then, as we have read in this opposition, a role of opposition here as a they works as a checks, right? Because they keep on checking on the government. They are the one those who take out their negatives, and they just it is like much the duty of an opposition to criticize the majority government. And what they do is in free society, an organized opposition has a central role to play, free and open debate about the working of the majority government. Then parties act as a unifying and a stabilizing force also. How? Party says that never be divided and always be united. A party has its members belonging to many castes, regions, and religions, but what is common in them? Their common interest, their common goal to form the government. And parties manage to make all the members work together in harmony. So, what exactly is this? That means they work for the common interest. Then parties meditate between pressure groups also, like various pressure groups represent the interest of labor, industry, farmers, government employees, women, consumers, and so on. So various groups put up various demands which cannot all be equally satisfied, right? Then parties provide a link between the government and the citizens. Obviously, they are the mediators, right? Those who so ever will be forming the government, obviously they will be the decision makers, but before that they work as the mediators because they provide a link between the government and the citizens. Parties explain the policies, as we have read here also, like they have policies and the programs, right? So these are like they make the acts of the government understandable to the people, and the other they keep the government in close touch with the public opinion also. So this is interconnected. And the social reform and promotion of public welfare schemes, like you have read, the government machinery and welfare scheme, like it like parties have a chance to be bridge between the organization, like between the impersonal bureaucrats and the ordinary voter. And the local party organization have at the back and call of ordinary person, and what they do is like they just take out the matters like relief loan or compensation. So the parties organize voluntary bodies and many other occasions to help the masses at all the hours. And the political party in a democracy, the major thing is contest election. The political parties put up candidates in election, put forward policies and programs. Parties put forward different policies, and the party which wins the majority of seats from the government, they train the leaders, and these leaders become the ministers. And as I told you, the party which loses election from the opposition opposes the wrong policies of the government and prevents the government from becoming autocratic. And they shape up the public opinion as well. Parties make the people aware of the national and international problems and create public opinion. Parties play a major role in the lawmaking process. Members of the legislature belong to political parties, so parties influence lawmaking process also. Then access to government machinery and welfare schemes. As I told you, common people approach to government officials through local party leaders. They get the benefit of welfare programs with the help of party people. Parties play a major role in lawmaking process. Members of the legislature belong to political parties. So parties influence lawmaking process and they access to government machinery and welfare schemes as well. Common people approach to government officials through local party leaders and they get the benefit of welfare programs with the help of party leaders. Now there are few defects of political parties also. Like if we talk about political parties might have selfish propaganda that could hurt national interest. That means when a political parties can vested interest and vicious propaganda that benefit only a few and are against other parties, it damages the country's political environment. And when a certain group cares for its members rather than the entire country, it does not only harm the political atmosphere but also disturbs the nation's peace and order. Political parties could create factionalism. A country between uh, party system could render political life artificial, and it could create animosity between parties, encourage jealousy, and develop occasional riots and insurrection. As a result, the public is forced to form factions before. Because they could not agree on certain levels, then political parties could run individuality also, like they ruin the individual personalities, how they may be parties that accept the force the people support and share their views blindly. So they might not allow its own people to criticize their shortcomings. In short, the people may not be allowed to form their individual opinions on certain issues because they are expected to follow what their party is telling them. Then political parties could encourage corruption as well. There will be parties that distribute money to the elaborate electorate to secure votes for their candidates. Aside from that, their candidates may be making promises and that is to fake and only to persuade the voting population into electing them. But once they are elected into office, they might never deliver to their promises. So they might also place those who supported them in high positions in exchange for their votes. Then political parties could deprive the country of talented individuals who can contribute to its success. So, this is because people from the opposition parties are most likely excluded from participating in the government for the betterment of the entire nation. When managed properly, political parties can only help encourage the people into participating during elections, and this ensures that the government officials appointed into different public offices will serve the majority, not only a few. So, how could we conclude it? We could conclude that we may admit the weight of the criticism and advanced against the party system, and it shall not be wise to throw the baby along with the bathwater. So views on matters concerning the betterment of society are bound to dissimilar. So what we could do is, if that is so that means the propagation of each and set of ideas will need a distinct organization. So when the rulers forbid the formation of parties, the urge of the politicians lead them to form claims and secret groups. So this is what happens then authoritarian regimes.